That's how.
It's just turn it on. Mono Madness.
Boy, boy.
Turn it on, and see what comes up. So, we're done for today,
We're done.
right?
Our job is done here.
The job is done. Trying to get out before all the school traffic, because it's crazy and there's graduations galore tonight. So there's gonna be a lot of crazy people on the road. So that's why it's good we want to stay home.
Naked.
Whoa. You're gonna be naked? I mean, I don't do. Do I do that?
Yeah, you do.
I do. You know, I really wonder
I
if
wonder
people can see us.
who's loving
So we did a lot today. We went on a field trip. That's gonna be on our last video.
you. Hawaii,
And
FedEx.
yeah, to FedEx.
So I think that's part of the thing is we need to, expand the teaching of our classes to teach people basic
print.
computer skills,
Yeah.
right? So they can access the information in the courts,
Yeah.
utilizing the computers, like
Yeah.
cell phones and all that, registering with the courts,
Yeah.
and then also like printing stuff at FedEx Kinkos,
Yeah.
and Office Maps.
Because it can be kind of,
Because we've been having a lot of struggles with this.
yeah.
And they call me up, I'm like, yeah.
And we're so far away.
Yeah. I kind of see.
So even today I told
Basically,
her
no,
when
no.
we left, I said, so, as long as you send it straight to them
Right.
and you get the code, then the people at FedEx
Yeah,
can help
yeah.
them. But she said the last time they had that, and I guess they had grouchy employees, and the girls were telling them, you just gotta go to the machine and follow instructions.
That's not helping.
Yeah, like, that's not very nice, so they were kind of lost. But I think they'll get there. Like, they'll get there.
So they have hands-on experience today about how to work.
Yes, they did.
They wear FedEx Kinkos.
Yes, they did. So that was good though. I kind of switched it up. I'm like super tired today. I don't
What
know.
was you doing last night?
Sleeping with the
Nobody
cat.
need to tell me, boy.
Sleeping with the cat.
That's my girl. You can't have her. She's my girl.
She's a cutie patootie.
Yeah. I love her. I wake up in the morning, early in the morning, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow, she's zooming around.
Yeah. It was so cute though. I'm still
Then
trying
she'll
to
come
teach
back
her.
and lay down and sleep with us again.
Yeah. After she's done doing her zoomies. But I'm still trying to teach her. You can be like on crack in the morning, but then when I want to give you a kiss, you gotta give me a kiss.
Give me my kisses.
So she was doing her thing where she was like peck, 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 and then she runs away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grabbed her and she was like, rawr, rawr, and I was like, hey, give me a kiss, And she actually stopped when I put her down after she stopped doing her zoomies, and then she came up to me and she kissed me 3 times. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
So I think a good thing we talk about right now is animal lovers. Are you an animal lovers, and why? Not everybody loves every kind of animal.
I love every kind of animal.
Like my son, he loves snakes and spiders and shit like that.
I love
I'm like,
them too, though.
oh, that was it too?
They're kind of cool. When we were in San Diego, we
I don't
went.
know.
We went to.
A good snake is a dead snake chopped up in a million pieces.
No, we went up to Tierra Santa, and they had a pet shop over there, and it was so cool because they had tarantulas and
For you, I love you.
dragon, all these different kind of dragon, whatever. And then they had snakes, and it was a yellow and white, some kind of, I don't know. It was big, and we got to take pictures.
Yellow and white. Like
Yeah.
a boa constrictor.
Kind of like a boa. And Caitlin, I have a picture of Caitlin with it wrapped around her, like all wrapped around her like this.
Stop! Bruh.
And the face was right here.
Bruh, I'm not talking to you.
You're not talking
I'm not
to
talking to
me.
you.
Oh yeah, you're
Bruh,
not talking to
stop,
me.
bruh.
I like when you're not talking
Bruh.
to me.
Bruh, you're giving me ookie ookie. I'm telling you. She's gonna get arrested.
I'm not gonna
Just
get
watch
her
anybody
For
any
touching-
minute now.
for touching my husband.
Touch torture.
It's not touch torture. We already
It's
went over
touch
that.
torture.
No.
It's torture
Nope.
using touch.
Nope.
You know, all the
such
terrorists and stuff like that. They're all big bad terrorists. You know, they don't care if you pull out their fingernails, you know, cut them up and all kind. They don't care. They're tough and they're not gonna give you no info. But the minute you give them the touch torture, you're over there giving them ookies about it just to stop, because none of them has ever been loved and cared for and nourished, hugged, and that. But they'll make it. And give them up. I give you up all the secrets.
Just give up.
They where all
all.
the bodies at, where all the dope is at, where all the guns, drugs, and whatever out there.
So they should have touch therapy in prison then.
Yeah, they probably get boys fucking to act right. They think, ooh, I better act right. I don't want to get in trouble because I want to see that how they come back over here and touch me.
Or it could be like a 6'5" Gertrude
Whoa.
from, or a Hilda from
Whoa.
Germany.
Hildegard. Hildegard.
Be like, lay down.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
It's ready for your touch.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch, Islander?
I will touch you now.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Sasquatch.
But you gotta go for your touch. They should make it mandatory. You never know who's gonna be behind the door.
Be like, officer, I will never make trouble ever again. I will rehabilitate. Just keep me away from it.
Instant rehabilitation. So they
I'm
gotta
sorry.
they gotta keep track. If the inmates are good, then they get the pretty girl to come and touch them, right?
Right.
As a what do you call that? Like a prize or a gift, whatever.
Right.
But then
Reward.
if they're naughty, yeah, reward. If they're naughty,
Oh,
then
we all naughty.
behind door
If
number
you're in
one.
prison, you naughty.
No, not always. Okay, different levels of naughty.
Right.
But then if
Like
you're
when you
like,
was in when you was in Fort Leavenworth
wasn't-
maximum security facility, you know, you was known as the naughty one.
I wasn't in prison.
That's not what my friend Tom said. He said, "Where did she do time? You know."
Just because I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Just because
You understand? Because you got criminal mentality.
I do not have criminal mentality. I just
Sanctuary? What is
I
that?
just
What is that? Who
look
comes up with that?
well, you know, some people need to be in a sanctuary.
You see?
Because some people are just like, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't want to incriminate myself. I don't want to say something and somebody take it wrong. You know?
They don't know what the sanctuary is.
They don't know.
The place where you go to pray.
It's just here
They-
where you get peace.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with you.
Nothing wrong with me. I'm all good. I went through all my mental tests last week. Hey, come on, you all good, but you know, yeah. No cuckoo-ness, nothing. You're good.
Where?
That's what they say.
Were these people in white jackets with their arms crossed in front of them?
I think a few of them might have been on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they said they were doctors.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, cuckoo doctors.
Cuckoo.
Yeah.
But all these houses hiding in the bushes over here.
You want to live in the bush?
I like living in the bush. Hey, go away from Stay away from the masses.
Yeah. By the way, I think our neighbor got a Jackson chameleon.
What makes you think that?
Because last
Which
night
one?
she
The
came-
one on when you look at the house on The
That
white
that
or-
side, yeah, that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because first I thought it was a kitten or another puppy, and I thought, oh Lord, like they can't even, you know, they
Yeah.
don't take care of the other two good. But she came out and there
Wait,
was
the
people in the
front
truck.
side or what side?
I'm talking about our druggy side.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
then.
both sides are, but yeah. So she came downstairs and there's people in the truck outside, and she came out with something in her hand, and I couldn't see, but she goes, "This is my new pet or whatever," and she said, "I named him Lucky," and I thought, oh gosh.
what's it? Yeah, that one.
But this other
Some
guy,
people should never be allowed to have pets.
pets or kids,
Or kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know.
orchids,
Both of them.
just like flowers, orchids. Do you ever think of orchids? I'm
Orchids.
tired. Can you tell I'm tired?
Orchids.
Orchids. Yeah, it's really sad.
Orchids. You.
Yeah.
You.
But I think she got a Jackson Chameleon.
What makes you think it's a Jackson Chameleon?
Well, because it was small. I didn't hear it make a noise, and it was in the back of the truck for kind of a while. And the kids were playing with it. And then the guy said, "Oh, we had 4 of those things, at one point." And then she was like, "Oh, I was thinking about going to get another male, but I think they're gonna fight. If there's 2 males." And she got it from the pet store and stuff. So, with my professional storefront
Investigative techniques.
like intensive investigation,
Hey, we're gonna put gas on.
I determined it's up to you.
We can get
I
money.
did check what you
Or
got.
do I gotta go to why not meat market and strip and do my thing? Ooh.
I mean, I told you I'd buy you some tassels. I mean, I got some money.
We get
I got some money, or we can just wait. He's still got enough to go.
Jay gotta go work too. doesn't he?
Yeah, but he was gonna put 2, so maybe he'll put. But yeah, I think she got a Jackson Chameleon. I'm waiting for the dogs to eat it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Balling. What?
I don't know where she
You
put it.
ate my mole.
And then she's leaving today.
Well,
Yeah, because I heard her telling everybody. We can hear like everything that the neighbors do just from our bed. Like, I kid you not.
yeah.
Like, it's hilarious.
That's how we know we're on a drug stick.
Because they advertise it.
Specific plates.
Yes. But
And
they keep it on
Good for
their
she
side. They don't affect us. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
I ain't
Not
a
my
rat.
business to
Do what
public
you
step.
do. But, it's just hilarious. Sometimes it's entertainment. We used to stand by the window with our popcorn.
Yeah.
Because at one time there was like 3 sets of abusive
Yeah.
people, right? That, like, it's just crazy.
Used to be
And
like
then
a clean and sober house.
Yeah, and the cops would
Yeah.
come all the time. They would know the address by heart, and we would joke like, "Oh, this is only a 3 copper,"
Yeah.
It's like average
You
5.
know, yeah, you can know the extent of the police interaction by how much cops show up.
Yeah,
If it's 3 or less,
yeah. So when we pass by other places on the way home, and there's action over there, and we count 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're rookies,
nothing serious going on there.
Yeah, like they have to block their whole house and our side, and it's funny because our house, the family that owns it, they don't like alcohol or smoking or
So
anything.
I like being around there.
So it's complete opposite.
Slippery slopes.
Yeah, so it's complete
They
opposite.
just they don't tolerate that. They don't tolerate drugs or alcohol.
Yeah,
Not like that.
yeah. I mean, you do your drugs and you want to do your alcohol, you gotta go somewhere else.
It's
to
a
do it,
bounce
but-
fucker. Bounce fucker. Look out of here.
Bounce. Let me see you make it bubble. Wrong one.
It's just say that. Fuck away from me, bro. Beat it from me.
Just bounce.
Slap the face.
Wow.
And then they look at me. Oh, boy, it'll be so okay. Cause you fucking bothering me, bro, right now. I'm trying to do my thing.
Bothering you.
Bro, I'm telling you. Shit, then I come out of prison, I gotta deal with this over there. Gotta deal with her, giving me ookie.
But you said I'm the best Sully in the world.
Yes, you are.
See?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Look at that. How beautiful. How beautiful.
Okay. So, let me ask you.
Ask me
Let
what?
me
What should I
ask
ask
you.
you?
Let me ask you.
Okay. What's up?
What is
Talk, baby, talk.
the best memory you've had with me? If you had to pick one, not our wedding day. That doesn't count. It can't count because that's a special day already. Everybody
Right.
knows that.
Our trip to Alaska.
Yeah.
7 days, 7 nights, Alaska. You know, it's that time that we spent,
Yeah.
you know, making fresh memories. Place that we're not familiar with. I've been on a 7 Alaskan cruise too with my ex-wife, but with you was, bro, you was
Adventure.
right-eyed, yeah, adventures. And
You just like my
wonderful.
slut picture.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. We wanted
It was
to
fun,
spend,
even though I lost like $400 on the table.
and then you were in the room.
Yep, I punished myself.
Yeah,
Went
you
straight
did.
to the room. You naughty boy, you bad boy, get in the room.
At least
No
you
dinner
knew-
for you.
But at least you did that. Like some people can't fight the urge and they would be like, oh, we're just gonna keep trying, and then we would have been like $2,000 in the hole or something, even though we didn't have $2,000.
Yeah.
But that was good though. But I was looking all over for you in the ship. It was like
No, they get the thing on a medallion.
it wasn't showing me.
Huh?
It wasn't showing me.
What do you mean?
It wasn't showing me where you were. So I went back to, because I'm smart, my storefront, investigative skills. And I went back to
Process
the
of
room.
elimination.
Yes, because I like circled the casino, a couple times, and then I went one other place that we were kind of hanging out, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the room and I'm gonna see. And so I went back to the room, and because reception was really bad, that might have been the thing too. Reception was bad on the boat, so I couldn't just call you.
Right.
And so I went back to the room, and then there you were watching a movie under
All
the
doodle boy.
blanket. All doodle.
Wasn't me. Sorry, man, wasn't me. I got jacked, bro.
What?
Yeah, by the elevator. I
What?
got jacked. I was by the elevator, and next thing you know, I waking up, black eye, my money gone.
That's your story?
I mean,
That's your story. Stick with that, take it to the grave.
ancient Chinese secret. Wise man never blames himself.
Right. Also says man who stands on toilet is high on pot. Okay, so that was your number one favorite?
Yeah. How about you? How beautiful Canary Bay looks, yeah? Oh, one
Yeah.
thing I love about this drive, on the H3, there are a lot of beautiful views out there.
My favorite. I think I'm gonna have a hard time picking one.
So you didn't enjoy it?
No,
Oh,
I did enjoy the
So that's
trip.
not your favorite?
Well, there's a lot of little small things that you do that like is my favorite. Like,
Oh, yeah?
okay, so let me go in order maybe. Like, so when I first met you, one of my favorite things was the day that you picked me up and then you deleted all your booty calls from my phone. And I thought it was silly at the time. Not silly, but unnecessary at the time. Because I was like, I didn't know that you were serious about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I'm thinking,
You didn't know.
well, because I'm thinking like, yeah, okay, like coming from being a man whore you
Yeah,
know,
but
all of a
I
sudden you
couldn't
meet
breathe.
me. Yeah,
I couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
That
but-
should have been your clue.
yeah, but I'm like, okay, why me, right? You telling me that you've been on this trip for years and going from girl to girl, whatever, doing this, doing that, and then you meet me and all of a sudden your world stops and you decide you're done, just
It
like that.
actually did.
Cut bait and walk away,
Yeah.
you know? So when you deleted
Best
all those and
decision
you
ever
showed
made
it to me, I
in my
was
life.
like, okay, you don't need to do that. And you were like, I know, but I want to. And you deleted all that, and I was like,
Yeah. See, no fair, because you didn't ask me a question like a setup.
You
Right.
must have been set up.
If we're
Okay.
talking about intimate
Okay.
things of personal between
Okay,
us,
so I did my
That's
first
what we
one.
thought.
Okay, so what is your first intimate thing that you loved about me then? Your
very
favorite?
first night watching a shooting star
Oh, yeah.
and that kiss.
That's a good one.
I-
That was like, because that was like movie. That's
yeah, that
literally-
was actually like a romance movie.
Right?
Freaking beginning. Bro.
Like, and even then I didn't, I mean, it was a special moment, but even then I didn't know for sure that
Oh, shit.
you were like,
Do I have a car next to me?
I can't, the light's not on. Can tell you that. Want me to look? But yeah, even with that, I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't. You know, and I'd come off of like 2 little relationships that these guys were promising me the world, right? And so I thought, yeah, here we go again. Whatever, you know.
Message to guys out there. All that lame, again, hook up things. Oh, baby, I'll buy you the world. I can show you the world. Yeah. All that, it's all lame. Man.
Yeah.
If you want a real relationship, take it from me. Everybody still wondering how the hell I swore on cutie ladies. But I just was honest with them.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing.
The give back was she was blown away, like I was that brutally honest with her. So
Yeah.
she saw that there
And
was
that sets
something
you
there.
apart from everyone else, because the other ones were lying to me too. You know,
What?
on top of it.
They lied to you.
They lie.
This was trying to get their panties. That's what they
I
said.
guess. And ironically, so were you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the stars, okay, the falling star and the kiss was their first one, and I did my first one. Okay, so the next one, my favorite moment. But after that, it was, I mean, you brought Kiai. That's not why I fell in love
Well,
with you, though. You tell everybody
you
that
already
that's
know,
why.
Bob.
That's not why.
You bring the
I was-
puppy, it's over.
when you brought
Yeah.
Kiai, I was already
Whoa.
in love with you.
Huh?
I was already in love with you by the time you brought Kiai.
Never tell me that.
It was a secret.
Secret.
Yeah, because I didn't wanna tell you, and then you know, like you end up turning around and go, I know already.
What?
You know, because I really wasn't. I don't know. I didn't expect you. The things that you told me yourself what you used to do and what, you know what I mean.
Right.
And I thought to myself, okay, I'm nothing special. It was a booty call that went the other way. It ended up not being a booty call. But I don't know. I think the difference too is like I kind of always thought you have your world, and I thought you would match up or end up with somebody who also lived on the streets and experienced, so that, you know, because you guys have a lot in common, right? And you and I, and you were calling me a square. You're just a square from Pro City,
Yeah.
you know, and so I thought, you know, I'm in like a
We couldn't be
totally.
more opposite.
Huh?
We couldn't have been more opposite.
Yeah. yeah, so I just kind of thought, I don't think he's gonna like stick with me. Like, I thought you would think I was boring after a while.
Nothing boring about you. Yeah.
That was so. My second favorite was that was Kiai. Okay, so what's your next?
Oh, when I went to Alabama pro violation, I realized that's when I realized you wasn't a square.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I had this whole list. I
You
wanted
had a
you,
list.
yeah, to call this person, that person, blah 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 blah,
Oh,
right? And after 5 days, I never had a chance to hear from you. Somebody had to risk their own ability to stay out of segregation just to hook me up. Man, I picked up the phone and I was about to tell you what I needed, and you go, wait, let me tell you what I've been doing. And you ran off everything that you was doing. I was standing there, literally, I was standing there on the second floor. That's where the phone was. Tier, what do they call that? Quad one. You see on the bottom floor. But see, I holding a receiver in my hand like this, looking at him kind of like cockeyed, like a dog. What? Well, everything you was telling me is what I wanted to ask you go take care of.
so that was
And lucky for me, you already was on it, because then it was that much more ahead.
yeah.
Because I knew they was gonna try to come slam me down as hard as they can.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your second. So my next one. Okay, so now we're into Halava, right? So I think my next one was the first time that you got kind of frustrated, where you told me, I don't know, maybe you're getting depressed, and you told me, you know what, you should just go on with your life because you deserve better, and I guess you were feeling kind of hopeless, and you hung up on me, right? The phone calls stopped at 9 p.m. He hung up on me at 9 p.m. and literally didn't let me say anything or anything. So I cried the whole night, right? I cried.
I was at mom's house.
No. I cried, but my favorite moment was the next morning, because I thought he wasn't going to call. It would have been so easy because that was your whole life, right?
Yeah.
Just hanging by yourself. And so that's the moment where I thought for sure now, that you weren't going to stay with me. And that I wasn't up to par to your standards or whatever. Like like for real.
You're not up to my standards?
Yeah.
I had standards complex with you from when I first met you.
No, but it was because, like I said, I figured I'm not in your, like you always say that, like you're not in my one class,
Yeah.
whatever. And I felt like I'm not in your class because
we're the broke ass Kanakas, you know what I mean? We're down there with, with EBT,
yeah, but like I never
subjected to the criminal
felt
justice
like,
system, or all of that.
yeah,
You
that's
come
what I
from
mean.
like middle class.
But that was the moment that I thought you were done. Like that's it. I was never gonna hear from you again.
And what happened?
So the next morning when you called at 7 o'clock and you said you were sorry and that you
I
loved
was
me,
crying all night.
it was, you were crying. You're
Yeah,
crying.
because I was mostly, and that one happened several times.
Yeah, that's why I said the first time.
Yeah. The thing is, I was just afraid. I was afraid that I would never have an opportunity to love somebody like you, that way you love me hard. It's like true, authentic kind of love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Care for me and all that. You know,
So when you
I
called
was
me,
afraid that I was going to lose that.
when you called me the
Not
next
by my
morning,
own hand, but by, you know,
because you
the
thought I was gonna leave.
machinations of the system. They're going to make it, you know, like threaten me. They was threatening to send me back to prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know,
But when you
they
called me,
rightfully had the
it
authority to do
really
that.
hit my heart, because I thought, you know what? It would have been easier for you to just cut bait and walk away at that point, but you didn't.
And I'm like that. I'm like that but that kind is when I say sour to the
Yeah.
situation. I mean, I bought it. I'm like, I'm gone. But for you have to love you.
Bro.
But that, our situation wasn't like that. I
Yeah.
wanted to be around you. I wanted to be in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the best
I wanted
rehabilitation
you.
tool the state has ever allowed me to have.
Okay, so now you come out of prison at the same time. We're going to say it at the same time. You come out of prison for the day. What's your favorite memory? Sleeping in
at
my
night.
arms.
Yeah, at night. Yeah.
For that one day. Yeah.
When I went to bed, you held me like I was your own child.
Yeah.
You were sitting up. How did it feel when you're sitting up like that?
It was
Hard rock, but
oh yeah, my back was all sore and stuff, but I don't know, I just like
you
I
was
think that was
nourishing me at that moment.
yeah, and I think that was the first time that I felt like I was doing something for you. Even though, yeah, I did all the things you wanted me to do and all that, but physically, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was keeping you safe, and you know, like a mama bird or a mama kitten, you know,
Right.
protecting their young. And so I felt like that. Okay, so now you went back
But-
and you were in there. And then, okay, so.
And that's when I had to like adjust, because when I went back in the first time, my mindset was back into the
Pecking
mold.
order.
Yeah, you know, establish myself in the pecking order, reestablishment, and making my being comfortable for, you know, the long winters that will come, so to speak. And but when I went back, that after that one day out, I was like, man, that's when the concept of learning how to live through a situation and making it work like that is where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And I did. I learned how to live through that situation. For all those years I spent, all I did was survive. It was all about survival. You gotta do what you have to protect yourself at all costs. You know.
You know what kept me going on the outside a lot of times? I mean, my life was crazy out here, right? Balancing my kids, trying to get on my feet.
But you did
fill
just
the
as
house.
much time as me, the 7 months, because we was on the phone.
Yeah.
Speaking, all that. The guys was calling me 4 months now.
Yeah,
You
so
did
between
4
all of
months
that, you know, and then working extra and cooking food to get money on your books and all that, right? And pay the attorney and collect all this evidence and all that for the attorney and stuff. But what kept me going was the letters.
Yeah.
The letters that you wrote, they were just, I don't know, it's like not very many people can write letters that you can tell is coming from their heart. Like you get cheesy letters, you know? It's like, oh, I love you, babe. I can't wait to come home, and you know, this and
Yeah.
that. But yours wasn't like that. It was like you were opening up to me and telling me about your experiences and stuff, you know? And you have like such nice handwriting.
Come on.
You do. You have nice handwriting.
Women got pretty handwriting.
You have pretty handwriting when you
I
want
don't
to. When you want to. And so that's what kept me going. So that was like another thing that I really loved. And then you came out again.
Yeah. And ran into the arms of my Jane. Oh.
He really did. He really did. So
Right past you.
my ex-husband brought his truck because he wanted to. What did you want to
I
do?
want to know what it felt like to get out and jump into my own vehicle and go home.
And say bye.
Bye.
So we arranged
Never
for that.
see you again.
Right.
Bye.
So he was telling me on the phone that he's gonna do it, but I really didn't think he was gonna do it. But I was
I am
waiting
dead.
and waiting and waiting, you know, for him to come out. And you talked to me all
Yeah.
the way up until they said bag and baggage, right? And I was
You
like,
heard it? Did you hear it on the
yeah,
phone?
I did. Yeah, it was Connor, bag and baggage. You know, I was like, woo, woo, I'm so excited. And then I
Like
waited.
Romeo. Woo, woo, woo.
But then to me, it took forever for you to get out. I was like, what the
Yeah.
heck? It's like right there, just come out, you
Yeah.
know? But
Processing.
yeah. So I waited and waited, and the security that was there, and he had seen me every Sunday, right? Like coming in
Yeah.
to see you, and he goes, he didn't even believe you were coming out.
But
He
yeah.
goes, what, the brother coming out? And I said, yeah, he's
Yeah,
being
'cause he
released
saw me
today.
just come back in.
Yeah. And he goes,
Again.
nah. He goes, for real, they letting him out? And I said, yeah, they are. And he goes, nah, I like the brother though. He's a good brother, but bro, I don't think the system like him, you know? And he goes, you sure they letting him out? I said, yes, I promise. I heard it. I heard it on the phone. Connor, bag and baggage. He goes, no shit. And so he was waiting for you too. And then here he comes finally. And I wanted to just run up to him and just jump on top of him and hug him. And he comes and he's walking faster and stuff. And all of a sudden he walks right past me and
Detour.
into the arms of my ex-husband. And they do this little skit like, oh, you know, I missed you so much. And I'm like, boy, you know, I'm telling you.
Yeah. We have fun. 143, I love you.
Bruh. So yeah. Yeah. I think I would have done the same though. If I was in your position, I would have done the same. But yeah.
Yeah, but man, getting released from prison, you know, that first steps, right? It's like, whoo,
And you drove away.
drove away,
I
bro.
remember you like
Yeah.
flicking the facility off.
Yeah, like, deuces sometimes.
It was like, I'm
I'm
not
outta
coming
here.
back this time.
No, there's a lot of good people over there, you know, the staff and stuff like that. You know, especially this last time I was there, you know, my attitude, I guess because my attitude changed towards
Right?
them, right? And I think when your attitude changes and people choose to treat you better,
Right.
you know what I mean? And that's what I did. And one of the letters that was written on my behalf was by my case manager. And my case manager is the one that said, the man has been respectful to both inmates and staff. And I was like, huh? Somebody said that about me? Me. Never my whole prison career, from detention home to boys home to prison, has anybody ever said anything close
Never.
to that? Because I'm not that guy.
You
I
know,
wasn't that guy.
you know what's funny too is when I would visit every Sunday, right? You'd have to sign in, right, downstairs, and
Right.
one of the first times I think maybe it was like around the third time. So
Mhm.
the two ladies that were always working down there.
Yeah.
By the third time, I kind of got the gist of what was happening, and I could tell I felt like such not a rookie, you know? 'Cause
Hey, you're helping some other
yeah,
family members,
yeah,
huh?
you know, like they're like, oh, what do I do?
Oh,
You know,
walking
and
like an OG.
yeah, and I was like, I got you. Come, you just sign over here, and then they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, they're gonna pat you down, you know, and stuff, and we're gonna go through there. And so they're like, oh my god, I've never done this before, right? And I didn't do it before either. But by then, so the third time, there was a new lady there, and then one of the regulars that was there every week. And so I went to sign in, and the newbie asked me a question. I forget what it was, but then I was like, yeah, Connor, right? I'm here to see Connor. And then she goes, oh, what's the first name or whatever? And I had to go through all these things that I never had to go through the other time.
Yeah.
And so the lady that knew me all the time, she was like, she's telling the lady, yeah, she's good. She's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Like,
the
yeah, like, you know.
Don't start with this one.
No, so I kind of made a comment to the other lady, you know, and I guess the newbie, I don't know, they were like having issues. And then the other lady came out, the one that knows me too. And so I was kind of laughing with them. And I said, yeah, it just kind of like took me by surprise, you know, like I've been here like, you know,
Yeah.
a few weeks in a row now. I figured, you know, everybody knows. They go, no, we know Connor, but we've never known him
Yeah.
to be with somebody like you.
What
And I
does
was
that
like,
mean?
yeah, I was like, and I'm over here telling them, no, he's changed, you know. And I'm thinking, okay, that must have sounded stupid because in their minds, like he's sitting in halava. What the fuck are you talking about? He changed my ass, you know. But it was funny because then the more I started going to visit, it was funny. The girls were like, oh, he must be doing something right, you know. You still coming to visit him, and it was like they knew your reputation. One of them said, I don't like know him, but we know of him. You know, everybody in the facility knows of him. And I was like, okay. And they go, and you are not what we picture to be with him. I was just kind of laughing. Like,
Hey, we eat pork chops tonight?
yes.
Should have Jay turn on the deep fryer. Huh?
It's too far. No, you know what he said yesterday?
What is it?
He was gonna fry the ahi katsu or whatever, the
Yeah.
ika katsu or whatever he
Yeah.
wanted to try. And he goes, I go, yeah. He goes, I might fry it up in a pan. And I said, just stick it in a deep fryer. And he goes, no, I don't know how to use a deep fryer. It would be me to blow up the house. And I was like, it's a deep fryer.
Hey.
Saadu. It's
Yeah,
not
I
gonna take
figure
that
by the
long.
time I get that thing, be ready. You
Yeah, but then I gotta
you know,
flour it
flour
and
it.
everything too.
Just
So.
nothing. You just flour it, chop them in. It's ready to go. I don't have to wait 100 million minutes. Uh-oh.
I told
There we
you
go.
you have no ribs.
There we go.
What had happened? Oh, you got
Yeah,
flat
I see
tire.
that. Oh, all the time.
Oh yeah. Do we know them?
What side?
Which side?
What side? Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of really touching moments I think that we've had. Like our relationship, I think is kind of backwards from others' relationship. Like usually you have that honeymoon phase, kiss, hug, everything's, you know, hunky dory, but then it gets into like the tough times, and then that's the test to see if you're gonna stay together, right?
Right.
But ours started off
Tough.
raw, all tough times, and not because of us, but because of circumstances. And so, you know, we really didn't. We went through like almost a year,
Other people's inability to cope with their fucking issues.
and I mean, yeah. So it was like almost a year, the
Yeah,
first year
my
that
nose, did
you know,
It's like a mustache sticking my
yeah, like all kinds of boogers hanging out. Just kidding. No, but yeah. So after we went through all of that, and then you came out, then it was like, wait, we can just enjoy each other's company now. Like we don't have to. We were looking over our shoulder for a little while just because we were kind of paranoid about, okay, you know, after being ambushed and hijacked for
Well,
bullshit, you know, we don't know if it's gonna happen again. But then I think it kind of got to a certain point where it's like, okay, you know what? There's nothing, and I think a lot of it had to do with we're together 24/7. We do everything together,
right.
and so I'm always with you. And so at some point, I was like, you know what? Bring it on. Go ahead, bring it on. Try. I'd like to see you try now to set him up on something that he didn't do, because I can vouch for him, right? So then I was
Sure.
like kind of no longer scared about that
Yeah.
to me. But I know you still have like some insecurities about
Now, I
stuff.
think I'm a lot less fearful.
Of getting taken back.
Yeah, because my professor has been, the professors I've had since I've been on college, this time they've been upfront and honest.
Yeah.
And let me know straight that that's the thing too is if you tell me straight what the deal is, I won't listen to that,
Yeah.
right? When you come in with attitude and acting tough and all that, go you fucking do smart, bro.
But I
Yeah,
think
I
too,
don't give a
you
shit
know
about that.
this time around that you're not doing anything to
Right.
violate your parole, right?
Right.
Like if you're doing some stuff, even if it's little things, I think that makes you like more paranoid, like, oh,
Yeah.
But now that you know you're not doing anything,
Right.
so you have nothing to fear. I mean, they could still, fuck around with you, but I think you would be able to beat it, justifiably beat it if something happens. But then I think too, like,
Oh, I know what we're supposed to do next week.
what?
Just visit Uncle George.
No, I have that on my calendar. Yeah, he never got back to you on if that day was okay. But I have that on there. It wasn't, I think it's 2 weeks. Not next week, I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, I have so many things on my calendar because he always says, baby, handle that. Baby, handle that. You the manager.
You're
You're the time
the
manager.
big boss.
So I have lots of things on my calendar, and sometimes I already have like 5 things on one day in my calendar, and then I hear him talking on the phone, and somebody's like, so if I say like for Thursday we have 5 things, he's on the phone and he's like, oh yeah, what, this Thursday, what time? Yeah, I'll be there. And I'm just like, no you won't, no you won't. And he's
So I
looking
gotta
at
do
me.
a Houdini.
He goes, huh? No, I gotta go, babe. We gotta go to this. I'm like, and you gotta go to these other 5 things too. But somehow our crazy life, it always works. Somehow.
Right.
I don't know how, but somehow it does.
Because he got them skills.
I don't know about that. But yeah. So did I tell you that I want to make chili on Monday? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. Are we going to work on Monday? It's a holiday. That never really worked for us, huh? So we're not going to work till Tuesday. Tuesday is chili and cornbread day.
So the kids can finally get their deep fried corned beef.
Deep fried is chili. Keegan wants chili in cornbread balls. So maybe that's what I gotta do this weekend is I gotta perfect that. Uh-oh, he's thinking again. Uh-oh.
Oh, look.
What do you wonder? What do you wonder?
Sure. Yeah, so we know that cornbread alone, thing on blow up in
Right. So that's why I said I gotta kind of do the same thing that we do with the corned beef hash.
yeah.
Right. So I
Yeah.
gotta kind of follow that process and then.
Hey, it's like that show that we saw on the food channel. Where the guy who put the cornbread
And the
whole
little,
thing.
yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Then this is gonna be deep fried, so hopefully, I don't know. And then I don't know if it makes a difference because I make the cornbread from scratch now. So does it make a difference? Are you falling asleep? Are you falling asleep?
Me? No.
You're falling asleep.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, it's a beautiful drive, bro. We're over here on the west side already.
Yeah, but you're falling asleep. I
Me?
saw that.
Me?
Yes. And they saw that.
What?
Yeah.
Busted. You guys didn't see
You
that,
got
right?
caught.
It is.
You're on the video. You're on the video. So he's gonna go home. He's gonna sit in his recliner, and he's gonna pretend to watch TV
What do you mean?
for like I give
inspect order.
it no more than 2 minutes,
What?
and he'll be like on his
Oh,
recliner.
man. 48, love you, honey
I'm
bun.
gonna take a picture. Take a picture.
Take a picture. Hibiscus.
I hear a siren.
Hibiscus.
Well, you saw that before. So, yeah, I want to
So?
make chili. So
Yeah.
I have to buy the plates
Okay.
for our food service.
Oh, like the one from the Chinese lady that we're supposed to go 100 million minutes ago? Huh? Hello?
Huh?
Hello?
Huh?
You know,
Huh?
that one?
That one, yeah.
That one? When we was in the store, in Costco, and I said, hey, we should get these Glad ones that we run.
No, but I don't. I want. No,
But
but
you're
they're
like, no,
expensive.
I want the other one.
Because they're expensive.
They're like a little bit deeper.
For $25 though. And that's not gonna last very long. So I want to get the plates.
Okay,
So
then
that-
then you got your phone on the app or whatever.
I know, but I don't know which one it is. I gotta look at the number.
You see what I mean? See, catch 22. 40 said, love you, honey. Love you
Bro.
forever.
I have to look at the.
743.
I wonder if
747.
she's open on the weekend.
Not gonna know the answer to that unless you call.
I can't call my phone.
Oh, that one, that thing. Ah, my bad. So guess what? We're not gonna have no pace
We-
unless you can swing a deal on the weekend.
Yeah, because Monday's a holiday too.
See? See what I mean?
All right. So I guess we gotta cut the video.
All right then.
Hey, it lasted though. It didn't cut us off.
Love, peace, happiness, y'all. Everybody, we out of here. Bombay pretty soon, not yet. All right.